If you're looking for a nicely balanced upgrade for your 2015 to 2020 3.5 EcoBoost powered F-150's exhaust, then the Flowmaster Force 2 will be just what you're looking for. Combining classic good looks with a smooth, deep baritone rumble and a more than acceptable amount of volume, the Force 2 system has it all and a little bit more, making it perfect for a daily driven truck. Now, unlike a lot of exhausts, this one errs more on the subtle side of things, especially as far as sound is concerned. Therefore, we're going to give this a 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter. It's more than enough for you to enjoy it, but not enough that it'll have your neighbors shaking their fists as you drive by. Quick note on fitment here before we get in too deep. This is designed to fit 2015 to 2020 3.5 liter EcoBoost powered F-150s, excluding the Raptor and 2019 to 2020 limited models. Many people think of Flowmaster as being one of the loud exhaust companies, but they've got a lot more than just noise to contribute, especially here in this system. This one gives the 3.5 EcoBoost a sound that it probably should have had rolling right off the factory floor. It's pretty smooth, it's got a bassy rumble to it, but it's not too loud. And while you'll never mistake this engine for a V8, the Force 2 gives the boosted 6 a little rasp and growl, but not too much that it's overbearing. It just flat out sounds good. Much like you'd get out of an older truck, it lets you know what is thumping away under the hood, but it's not going to wreck your eardrums. Now, as always, more volume outside means more volume inside as well. Inside the cabin though, this setup is perfectly pleasant. There's just a bit more rumble versus stock, so listening to your favorite song or podcast, having a conversation, or taking the family on a long road trip will be no sweat. And even if you put in a ton of miles daily, this is going to give you that extra sound you've been missing without sacrificing your hearing or your sanity. Now, all that is thanks to the inclusion of this Super 50 series muffler. Now, this is a 3-chamber muffler. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that in there, with a built-in resonance chamber to help keep things a bit more subdued. So as you can hear, there's quite a bit of resonance, but it's not too echoey and there's no packing in here that's going to cut the sound down. The chamber design also allows for less restriction and better exhaust gas flow than your factory setup, which can result in more power and better response. And to finish everything off, you get a set of these 4-inch polished tips. Now, these are a nice size and they're going to get you that classic dual exhaust look. In this system, they exit out the back right under the rear bumper, just like you'd find on an old school hot rod or muscle car. It's a great classic look that really works well with these trucks, and it gives them a nice visual boost as well. The piping in this system is all mandrel bent 409 grade stainless steel, providing you with good corrosion resistance. That piping is 3 inches in diameter going into the muffler and then 2.5 inches the rest of the way back to the tips. The muffler too is made from 409 grade stainless steel, and as you can see, it's finished in this high temp black paint for some additional rust and corrosion protection. The muffler again features that 3-chambered internal design with a built-in resonance chamber and some tech from Flowmaster's own Delta Flow units. And of course, you have those dual polished tips. Those again are 4 inches in diameter. These are dual wall T304 stainless steel for even more protection, so they should look nice for a long time to come. Pricing comes in at about $1,100. Now, it's not exactly pennies, but it is a really good price for an exhaust for these trucks, especially for a dual exit catback. That price is made even better by the good looks and the tolerable volume. So if you want something that's going to sound good without having to sacrifice your hearing or having to spend a ton of money, the Force 2 is a perfect setup for your truck. Installation gets a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter and should take you around 2 hours to complete. This is a bolt-on kit that comes with everything you need to get it installed, and it also utilizes all your factory exhaust hanger locations, plus there is a new bolt-on hanger for the driver's side rear pipe. But no permanent modifications are needed to your truck in order to get this fitted. So with that said, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the process step by step.
In this install, you're going to need an impact, a ratchet, a 15mm wrench, a 15, a 14, and a 13mm socket, and a socket extension.
Today we're going to be installing an exhaust on our F-150, but before we get into that, let's watch a quick video on how to uninstall it. So first things first, we got to get rid of our factory catback, and we're going to start by lubricating all of the hangers. And then there's two 13mm bolts on this flange here that we're going to undo as well. That will allow us to push the whole exhaust back and drop it in one big piece. If you are working on the ground, you might have to loosen that clamp right there or bring out the saw to cut this into a couple pieces. But again, since we're on the lift, we're going to take it out in one big piece.
Welcome back. Before we start putting the exhaust on, we have one more thing to remove. We have to remove this exhaust hanger. And for that, you're gonna need a 13mm socket and a ratchet. After that, we're gonna take our head pipe and install it. So you're gonna wanna push it over here, and then we're gonna go into this exhaust hanger right here. After that, you're gonna take your supplied nuts, bolts, and washers, and we're gonna loosely fasten them to the exhaust clamp. Now, the ones you're gonna wanna use are the two short ones. You will see a long one in there, but we're gonna use that for something else. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure that your head pipe is supported and level before we do anything else. So as you can see here, I have it supported with a pole jack. You can use any kind of jack depending on how your situation is with installing the exhaust. And then the next step is we're gonna take our driver's side over axle pipe. You can tell it's the driver's side over axle pipe because it's the shorter one. And we're going to install it on this bushing right here. Just like that. After that, we're gonna take our driver's side over axle pipe, which is the longer one, and install it on this bushing right here. Next, we're gonna wanna take our driver's side over axle pipe. You can tell it's the driver's side because it's the longer one. Once we have this, we're gonna install it in this bushing right here. Just like that, and it's okay to let it hang for now. And then we're gonna install our muffler. But before we put this on, we're gonna wanna make sure we take the supplied exhaust clamps and slide them over the header pipe, the driver's side over axle pipe, which is right here. And I do recommend, if you're doing this by yourself, since this is hanging down here, you slide this exhaust clip all the way back there, and then you can grab it once this is put on, as you'll see in a second. We're just gonna slide this end over like that. Then we're gonna take these, slightly push them back a little bit. You might have to lower whatever jack you're using to fit these on. So we got that one on right there. We'll take this exhaust clamp, slide it over like that. Then we're gonna do this one, which we might have to push this back a little bit and then slide it on. Next, we're gonna take a 15mm socket, an impact, and a 15mm wrench, and we're gonna tighten down these bolts. After that, we're gonna take a 15mm socket, a small socket extension, and an impact, and we're just gonna go to this exhaust clamp, this one, and this one. We're gonna snug them down. We don't wanna tighten them down all the way because we wanna make sure that once we have this exhaust fully on, we can go back and adjust the tips to make sure that they're even on both sides. Same thing with those bolts up there, snug them down. And once you've done that, you can release your jack. And then we're gonna take our rear exit pipe and install it. So you want to make sure that you have an exhaust clamp hanging right here. And to tighten this down or snug this down, we're going to be using a 15mm socket, a small socket extension, and an impact. And then we're going to take our driver's side rear exit pipe and we're going to hook it up to the driver's side over axle pipe. One thing I would recommend is getting a jack or an extra set of hands, just so you can keep this in place, because there's not an exhaust hanger over here. We're going to be installing one that's included with the kit. And before you install this side of the rear exit, just make sure you have an exhaust clamp already put on here, so it's easier to tighten it down once we get this in place. And then we're going to take the supplied exhaust hanger bushing and the exhaust hanger. We're going to slide it over this part of the exhaust, and we're going to take the exhaust hanger and slide it over. Now once we have done that, whatever you have holding the exhaust, we're going to crank this up so that this lines up with one of the holes right there, so we can put a through bolt through it. Next, we're going to install the exhaust hanger. So we have this square washer, we have a bolt, we have a nut and a lock washer in this long bolt. So what you're going to want to do is thread it through here. And once it comes out the other side, you're going to place this washer over the bolt. Then you're going to take the locking washer and the nut, you're going to put it threaded on. After you've done that, you're going to take a 15mm socket, a socket extension, an impact, and a 15mm wrench, and you're going to tighten it down. Next, you're going to want to snug down this exhaust clamp right here. We're going to take a 15mm socket and a ratchet. We're just going to snug it down a little bit, like that. And once we have that done, we can remove our jack. And then we're going to be installing the driver's side rear exit pipe. For this, you're going to need a 15mm socket and a ratchet. And before we slip this thing on, we're going to make sure that we have one of our exhaust clamps here. Then we just want to snug this down. We don't want to tighten it down all the way. After that, we're going to be installing the exhaust tips. So to install it, you're going to need a 13mm socket and a ratchet. Now once you have this slipped on here, you're going to take your socket and your ratchet and you're going to tighten this down. Now once you have this exhaust tip installed, you can do the same thing for the other side. Now once you have the exhaust tip where you want it, tighten it down all the way. You can do the same thing for the other side. Once you have that side on and both sides are looking even, you're going to want to go back in and tighten down every bolt. Alrighty, that about wraps up this review and install of the Flowmaster Force 2 dual exhaust system with polished tips rear exit for a 2015 to 2020 3.5 liter EcoBoost F-150, excluding the Raptor, and 2019 to 2020 Limited. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.